Hi, my name is Frankie. Thank you for listening to my mom. I never listen.
Nothing But Net has uncovered a jewel. And when I say a jewel, I'm talking about Hailey Atwood, who's a senior at UTSA, who plays for the great Karen Aston. Hailey, I am so glad that you had some time in your incredibly busy schedule as not just a college student, but an incredible young woman who gives to the community all the time to be able to spend some minutes with us.
Yes, ma'am. It's honestly an honor. I can always make time for you, Miss Debbie.
Well, Sean Cartel, I've known for a long time, and he put out this brilliant story about you. And for all those SIDs out there that have me on their email list that don't think I read what they send me, they would be wrong because that's how we've uncovered you. You have an amazing story, not just about your playing journey, but how you go about approaching life on a day-to-day basis. First, let's learn a few things about you, Hailey. Tell us a little bit about your basketball journey and how you ended up at UTSA.
So I went to Bowie High School. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I didn't really get recruited that much out of high school. I didn't really have a good AAU journey, which is something important if you want to get to the next level. And so I had two offers from two junior colleges close to home, Temple Junior College in Temple, Texas, and Glenn Junior College in Brenham. And, I didn't want to go to these small towns. I'm from Austin, Texas. Like, I was like, man, I don't know what I want to do. Like, these are retirement communities. So I ended up choosing Blinn Junior College, and that was a turning point for me in life and my career. I had a really good time there. I made some really good friends. I enjoyed my coaches. My coaches told me the things that I didn't want to hear, the things that I wanted to hear. And they told me, like, ultimately, I'm going to have to put in the work to get to where I want to be. And throughout my 2 years at Blinn, my sophomore year, COVID changed everything. We had to move out of the dorms. We didn't know if we were going to have a season. And for me, that was really a scary time because it was pivotal on me getting to the next level, whether that's like Division 1, Division 2, whatever that may be. And so I went home in December. I was training. I was eating right, trying to stay in shape, not knowing if I was going to have that sophomore season. And we came back. I got injured a little bit with my knee, and we lost our conference. Oh, I apologize. We lost our conference tournament, and that's when I got a call from Karen Aston, and like hearing her voice, like her phone number calling me was like amazing. And I knew as soon as we got on the phone, she was telling me that she's been watching me. I knew that's where I wanted to go. And so I committed to her, I think not even a few days later, to come to UTSA to spend the next couple years. And so that's how it all began. And since then, it's been amazing. I've had an amazing journey here at UTSA. I'm now in my fifth year. I've had a few, tribulations. I lost both of my great grandparents my junior and then senior year, but that hasn't stopped me from, wanting to be a good person.
Well, you definitely are that. And we knew that from just what we read about you before we had a chance to meet you today. And so meeting you today is so inspiring for me because this is uh, something I talk about a lot is that young people learning how to give, that giving is a skill and it's a skill that we need to learn. And you definitely have learned it. You're a part of Team Impact.
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
us what Team Impact is, how you got involved, and what you've learned from being a part of it.
So, coach had walked in one day, and it was after practice, and she was just telling us that our baseball team, UTSA baseball team, they work with Team Impact, who partners young people in the community who are dealing with various illnesses and disabilities, and it's a mentorship program. And coach was asking the team if this was something that we wanted to do, and we agreed to it. And she asked for 2 to 4 volunteers that would like to specifically work with Mia, who is our little athlete with us. And I volunteered. I had never done anything like that before. I've never worked with kids with disabilities and various illnesses that could potentially be terminal. And so it was something that I really felt that I needed to do and needed to experience. And at that moment, I didn't know, and I know it's cliche, but I didn't know like the impact that Mia would have on my life, where we are today, the things that I've done with Mia. I did not know that that was what would come from all of this. And so we met Mia. She came through one day before evening practice, and she was very shy. She'd never been around us before. And we're trying to break that initial bubble, like that awkwardness that you have when meeting someone new and getting to be like, hey, like, we're your friends. You don't know we're your friends, but we're really your friends. And from that day forward, after she met us, came around the team, we would do like small get togethers with her, still trying to break the ice, break that bubble. And I specifically remember one day, I saw Mia's grandfather. They're from Uvalde, and everybody like knows what has been happening in Uvalde, and so that's kind of like why it resonated in my head, because I remember seeing him, and he had oxygen around his nose. And we had spent time with him. Easter, we had like, I think it was an Easter celebration, and that next time, like, I saw he had passed away. And that really hit me hard because, as I mentioned to you before, I had lost my great grandparents, my great grandma back in 2021. And then not even a year later in 2022, I lost my great grandpa. So I knew the pain and how hard that was for me. And I was 21, 22 years old. And this little girl, not only is she battling an illness, leukemia, but she just lost her grandfather at 9, 10 years old. And so I took the initiative of spending more time with her, trying to help her and trying to, just be there for her during that grieving process. And even if she doesn't understand fully that, my grandpa is gone, like I'll never see him again, I wanted to be there for her. And so throughout that journey, me and Mia got closer, started spending more time together. That shell, she became a little sassy, little fun, funny little girl. And we spent so much time together. And when I found out I was going to be nominated for the Team Impact Player of the Year, I was like, wow, like all of this came from that. Like, that's something that I felt I needed to do. Not something like, I wasn't doing it for clout. I wasn't doing it for attention. I was doing it because like my heart told me to do so. I wanted to give that to that little girl and be there for her. And one of the last things that about Mia and I's relationship was when I went to her chemotherapy appointment. It was her last chemo that she would be receiving through her port. And I went to the children's hospital. That's something I've never done before. I've never been to a children's hospital and get to see what other people who, from the outside, they're normal, just like me and you, normal people. But inside, they're battling a very deadly disease that has taken the lives of many. And Mia's nurse in particular, she had some angel wings, and on her ID badge, she had a picture of a child. And obviously, like, I wasn't going to ask who that was, but she had told me that like I'm making a really big impact, and she had lost her child to cancer. And that was something that like really resonated with me and really like just, opened my eyes to this disease and how it impacts people, normal people every single day. And so that was just a big part of this journey that has helped me become a better person.
I think sharing your story and listening to you just makes me want to wrap my arms around you, to be honest, Hailey, because, we need more young people that are willing to step outside their comfort zone and help someone else. It goes right to that servant heart that I know that you have, that this is an experience that you're gaining in college, that you're willing to share with others, that is going to impact you the rest of your life and impact what you do moving forward. And it's remarkable to hear. I mean, you should be applauded. I know your family's got to be very proud of you, and I'm sure Coach Aston is as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So moving forward, let's go there, because obviously Mia is somebody that you're going to be attached to for the rest of your life and the rest of her life. And
Yeah.
it's just one person making a difference for one other person. It's that simple, right? It seems that simple. But it has impacted some of the other choices and decisions that you have made that would put you at a level of maturity ahead of some of your peers. And when you think about what you want to do and the other things that you've experienced in life, what comes next? Like moving forward, you're going to graduate, you're going to finish your college basketball playing career, then what?
For me, that has always been like a very hard question to answer because there's so many career paths and so many things that I want to accomplish. And well, first of all, I like to argue with people and in a good way, not in a bad way. So law school has always been, I got my undergrad in criminal justice and I'm currently working on my master's in business, which I'll graduate with in the summer. But criminal justice has always been my calling. I completed an internship with the San Antonio Police Department. I saw some awesome, crazy things that you would never see like in the regular civilian world. And so at first I wanted to go become a police officer, a detective 5 years later, and then end up, specializing in a unit and just going up the ranks. And that still potentially is an option, but I've always set goals like hard to achieve. And I feel like law school really is my calling. And that's why I say I like to argue with people. So law school is something that after I graduated with my master's degree, that I'm actually starting to study for my LSAT. I also have started a local basketball team with my friend, Team Hot is what we call it, hard work over talent. And so I want to expand that, give back to the community, give back specifically on my end to the young ladies of the Central Texas area, and ultimately just, continue to whatever I do, whether it's starting a business, starting my own law firm, continuing my business, Team Hot. I want to give back in any way that I can. And I was actually talking to Mia's mom the other day about how I would be able to include Mia in some of my basketball journey and hopefully eventually letting her speak to the young ladies that I coach.
Well, I think that would be so powerful. And since you set such high goals, I know you have in mind a place you'd like to go to law school. Throw it out there so that one day when you're interviewing for your law school, they can look back at this and say, she said that's where she was going.
Yes, I'm looking at a few Texas schools. So SMU is an option, the University of Texas, Houston Law School, yeah, I said Southern Methodist, and potentially Texas Southern. So those are some of my top contenders. It would always be nice to go to the hometown law school, which is the University of Texas.
Well, you know what? I can see you as a Texas girl growing up in Texas and spending your whole career in Texas being a wonderful thing for that state. And I think, Hailey, whatever you set your mind out to do, I believe you will accomplish. And we're so grateful that you took the time to share your story with us. It's really great to hear it. It's very inspiring. And I know it's going to help some other people get involved. If somebody wanted to get involved in Team Impact that's listening to this, how would they do it?
Well, in order to get involved with Team Impact, I think that you have to fill out an application, or they have to reach out to you because you're working with children in your area. So the child who is in like your college area, your school area, has to already be registered with the program. And then Team Impact will reach out to you to be able to see if it's a good pairing for your team. And obviously, if your team wants to be part of Team Impact.
The last thing I want to ask you, because I think this is so imperative for people listening. Most of the people listening are basketball people, players, coaches, executives, people in the sports world. I just want to ask you for your definition of why being on a team and being part of a team and everything that you do and how you celebrate team is so important to you. Why is team important to you?
Team is important for me in particular because those ladies that every single day that you will line up with and practice, you will play with, the hard, the good, the fight, they will be in your life for the rest of your life. They will be your sisters. They will be the people in your wedding. They will be the people that you grow up with, the people that you contact with, the people that could potentially set you up in the future for a job. That in building those bonds and relationships is important because they're going to be there for you for the rest of your life.
You're going to be a great leader. You already are. And we thank you so much for being with us on Nothing But Net, Hailey. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you so much for your time today. It's an honor to be here, Miss Debbie. Thank you.